This story everywhere, in every century, one person with a crazy idea, doubted by the world, yet ultimately igniting a revolution. And if you trace it back to the root, you won't find magic, but the discipline of the mind. Edison didn't merely believe he would succeed, he lived as if it was already certain. And because of that, he acted by a standard that ordinary people couldn't comprehend. Each failure was not a failure, it was information, data, a stepping stone closer to the right solution. His famous quote, "I have not failed 10,000 times, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work to make a light bulb," was not just a motivational line, it was living proof of a winning mindset. The mindset that sees the entire journey, not just a single outcome. While most people measure success by quick results, Edison measured it by the process, by each adjustment, by every small forward movement. And he understood that the one thing to protect each day was an unshakable state of belief. I tell you this, not to idolize Edison, but to help you look at yourself. To ask, how many times have you given up after just a few failures? How many ideas have you abandoned just because no one supported them? How many possibilities have you denied yourself just because you feared, what if it doesn't work? The truth is, you don't lack opportunity, you lack consistency. You're not lacking intelligence, you're lacking belief that endures adversity. And if you keep letting temporary emotions define your long-term future, you'll always be stuck in the loop of beginnings that never go anywhere. Success doesn't come from doing it right the first time. Success comes from not giving up enough times until eventually, and you do it right. Edison didn't wait for perfection to begin. He began, failed, adjusted, kept learning, and repeated until reality had no choice but to surrender to that unwavering will. And that's the difference between those who make history and those who merely read it. Be honest with yourself. How many times have you given up on a dream just because of a small failure? How many times have you limited yourself with the thought, maybe this isn't for me? And how many times have you let others define your ability just because you didn't see immediate results? Edison teaches you a profound lesson, that every failure is just a foundation. If you have the courage not to label it the end, I don't need you to try to become a genius, but I want you to start living like someone who refuses to quit. I want you to pause every time you're about to say, I'm not sure anymore, and instead say, I just haven't reached the 10,000th time yet. Because you don't need to be better than anyone else. You just need to believe more deeply than who you were yesterday. And each time you hold on to belief, regardless of outcome, you're climbing one more step on the staircase of success, one that no one sees until you reach the top. Remember, belief is not a feeling, it is a choice. Each day you choose to hold on to it, not because everything is easy, but because you've decided, I will be the one who doesn't give up. And if you live that way, day by day, step by step, through every adjustment, nothing can stop you. Because like Edison, you're not demanding instant results. You're only requiring yourself to continue. And that alone will take you to places that doubters could never reach. A declaration is not just sound, it is a law, a command issued from the center of awareness, where you are not merely expressing a desire, but imposing a new reality upon an old limitation. When I say, I command the impossible to bow down, it is not arrogance, it is sovereignty. Because if I don't declare it, the world out there will declare the opposite over me. Either you command your circumstances, or your circumstances will teach you to live small. There is no neutral ground. You cannot remain silent and expect this world to treat your unspoken desires fairly. I've witnessed too many people fail not because they lacked ability, but because they never dared to affirm one simple truth to themselves, I am worthy. They dreamed quietly, hoped in secret, acted cautiously, and waited for someone to appear and give them a signal saying, now you are allowed to succeed. But the truth is, no one grants it. No one turns on the green light. No one opens the door. The door only opens when you step forward and knock with the decisiveness of a declaration. I will not live beneath my true potential for another day. Your subconscious does not respond to weak wishes. It only operates according to clear directives, like a machine that only receives signals from its command center. If you merely think without declaring, if you merely feel but don't act in accordance with what you've said, then your ideas will drift into the unseen. All energy needs an outlet, and the declaration is the first door that opens a path for reality to be formed. Someone once asked me, if I declare something I haven't achieved yet, isn't that lying? My answer is always, you're not lying, you're establishing a new operating law. Every word you speak is a command sent into your subconscious, and if you keep repeating it with commitment, your subconscious will rewire the system to bring you closer to that outcome. You are not pretending, you are commanding. You are not fantasizing, you are building a map. You don't need anyone to confirm your potential. You are the only one with that authority. And if you don't voice the truth within you, the world will assign you another definition. Smaller, narrower, safer. That is why I don't let a single day pass without repeating my own declaration. Every morning I look straight into the mirror and say, I command the impossible to bow down. I will not be limited by circumstances, history, or doubt. I choose the greater path. And when you do this long enough, every cell in your body starts to believe. Every action begins to shift. Every decision grows stronger, because you've rewritten the lead role in your own life. No one who has ever succeeded did so without declaring something that sounded crazy to others. But those very declarations are the beginning of all extraordinary things. When Napoleon Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve," he wasn't glorifying optimism. He was describing a system through which reality functions, where clear intention, powerful declaration, and repeated belief are the tools that reshape the world. I don't need you to shout in the streets, but I need you to dare to speak loudly inside your own mind. Say it so you can hear it. Say it so your subconscious no longer doubts. Say it so every step you take afterward carries the weight of someone who has chosen to live with the highest responsibility, the responsibility to materialize what they have declared. Because if you don't declare what you want, you'll be swept along by what others impose. If you don't say, I am the architect of my future, someone else will say it for you. You should just accept it. Your dream isn't realistic. I'm telling you this not to make you feel inspired, but to make you feel called. Because if you're still reading this, you've likely once held a vision bigger than your current life. You once believed you were born to do more than just exist, but you've hidden that belief. You've been silent in the face of your possibilities. And I'm telling you, it's time to break that silence. Stand up, look straight ahead, and declare, I will not live one more day in mediocrity. I will not wait another moment for permission. I command the impossible to yield to my will. You don't need proof to begin. Your declaration itself is the proof of your commitment. And if you stay faithful to that commitment, your life will begin to shift accordingly, not because you are lucky, but because you dared to reshape reality with unconditional intention. From the moment you dare to say, I will not turn back, the universe will be forced to open pathways it once hid from those who weren't ready. I want you to remember this: no miracle happens if you continue to keep silence in your mind. But a single declaration